I'm not joking. As you see right there, the Diddy man, he going up against it. But a ray of hope has come through for the Diddy man. A ray of hope as they putting him through the ringer. Diddy told the judge he was getting nervous. And justice has always been blind and cover its eyes to what it don't want to see. And now these prosecutors has run into the biggest snag of all. And one thing you know is that in this case, the person who's going by the name victim number 3 is having a hard time do all these things. And here's what they have to do. Do your own research on the case. Jurors are being called back in today and all through May 9th. The trial will begin May 12th, 2025. Now, they want to try to finish this by July the 4th, Independence Day. But there won't be court dates on Memorial Day, Juneteenth, Independence Day, any of those things, right? Those dates is not gonna, there will be no court. So they're trying to wrap this up in 2 weeks. The celebrities that they do name, and then what they're gonna bring up is the Cassie case. She's the star witness of their case that they built. Victim back number 3 is not cooperating. Victim number 3 don't want to testify. Victim number 3 is saying, hey, I don't want to do this. I don't really want to testify. They knew this going all the way to the trial, that victim number 3 had problems going in this courtroom, revealing themselves. And now talking with victim number 3's lawyer and the victim, they don't want to testify. So they got to the end of this week to find out if victim number 3 is going to be lost forever in this trial. And that's damaging. Oh, of course. Diddy's people have gotten a witness number 3. I haven't seen it, but I guarantee you that's what she thinks. They might have victim number 3 family held hostage. You know, Diddy has a lot of power. You know, Teaser Tails is going to do what she does. Tell tales. So she's going to make it into something that it isn't. So one of the victims supposedly is Cassie's friend, who a lot of people think is Gina Hahn, but we'll have to see. And then another one is a sex worker that claims they were at the hotel when all of this was going on, right? So this has turned into such a circus. But the celebrities that they brought up, that's going to be mentioned by name, not saying that they've done anything wrong. But people might know of these people, so they got to ask the jury, are they familiar with these people? Because these are the names that's going to be mentioned in the courtroom. So one of the names that popped up was very surprising. as you can see right here, Kanye West, Michael B. Jordan, and Young Miami. Those were the three names that was mentioned. I mean, Dallas Austin name was mentioned, and these court jurors, they don't really know. But when you throw Michael B. Jordan in there from Sinners, everybody's like, I know Michael B. Jordan. So when you throw Michael B. Jordan's name in it now it looks different. Why would you throw Michael B. Jordan's name in this? So the XX Hotel is going to be mentioned in the trial. They let that be known, the XX Hotel. So one of the incidents supposedly happened at the Essex Hotel. So we know that now. It's a lot of moving parts, buddy. It's a lot of moving parts. Well, Sean Diddy Combs made a lot of moves. And when you make a lot of moves, you're going to create a lot of enemies. Well, I think Cassie's an opportunist. So she did her job as an opportunist to come in and do what she does best, manipulate. But she can't explain her situation, which is going to get brought up about her affairs, right? Kid Cudi. So if you were so loving and faithful to Diddy, why was you with Kid Cudi? How did that happen? And your whole relationship with Diddy, what was that about? Mike Myers, what's going on there? Michael B. Jordan, Kanye West, Austin Powers is mentioned, baby. Yeah, baby. So wing. So that's gonna be some funny Diddy at 5. So how did you do all these things? And of course, Kim Porter and all this stuff is up, but to bring up Mike Myers and Michael B. Jordan, this is gonna be crazy. Could this be tied to Lori Harvey? This is going to bring up a whole different story. Remember, Diddy dated Lori Harvey for a while before she was with Michael B. Jordan. Now, Lori Harvey dated the son and Diddy, and often took a boat with Diddy now. And Kim Porter, his baby's mother, the mother of the children that he got with 3 of his kids, her name's getting thrown around. Then you got Al B making allegations that ain't true. I'll be unsure. Tally ho. We said it before. No insubordination. I barely talk about Diddy at all. There's people that have been talking about this every day. When there's nothing new in development, there's nothing to really talk about. People were doing videos just to talk about what Diddy was eating. It was ridiculous. Something new got to happen. So the fact that they might lose you'll see a lot of buffering. Of course she did. Because in her mind, Diddy can do no good. They even said they brought in Harry Potter into this. Diddy stole a wand from Harry Potter's shop and Universal Studios or something. Believe me, you're gonna hear it all. This trial is so stupid. It doesn't even make sense. They stole a Harry Potter wand.
Prohibited actually from going to Harry Potter World and Universal Studios in Florida for about a year. So obviously brought up in open court, and she was very honest about it. Honestly, when the judge asked her, "What did you steal?" and she said a wand, there was an audible chuckle inside that courtroom. Was obviously brought up in open court, and she was very honest about it. Honestly, when I heard whether or not their job training actually require them to deal with some levels of sexual harassment, that being a training, that being a course, some type of thing. And then she said she had a friend who's a police officer, but as far as her stealing the wand from Harry Potter World, that was obviously brought up in open court, and she was very...
A witness stole a wand from Harry Potter court in Orlando.
Because it struck me. You had a potential juror who stole a wand?
She was probably one of my favorite prospective jurors, I'm not gonna lie, that I saw inside that courtroom. And she was interesting. She was a 30-year-old woman. She had talked about how she could be fair and impartial when it comes to this case. She said as far as the list of people and places, she only knew about 2 celebrities on that list. But she was interesting because she said she had a concert or a conference with unrefundable tickets, but then said she could make it work if she were to be selected as part of this juror. But again, she said she could be fair and impartial. She understands that she can't talk about this case with her sister-in-law, who, by the way, she had said in open court that her sister-in-law is a therapist. She had previous training as a teacher to deal with sexual harassment, something that we saw a lot from these jurors talking about, whether or not their job training actually required them to deal with some levels of sexual harassment, that being a training, that being a course, some type of thing. And then she said she had a friend who's a police officer, but as far as her stealing the wand from Harry Potter World, that was obviously brought up in open court, and she was very honest about it. Honestly, when the judge asked her, "What did you steal?" and she said a wand, there was an audible chuckle inside that courtroom. But pretty much, she wasn't convicted of a crime or anything like that. She had to pay a fine. She was prohibited actually from going to Harry Potter World and Universal Studios in Florida for about a year. So by this time, it looks like she can actually go back there again. But she made another interesting comment whenever she was being questioned by the judge, and that she had said that and again, I have to kind of commend some of these jurors for being just very honest inside that courtroom today. But when asked about social media posts and if she made posts about the case, she didn't say she made a post about the case in particular, but instead she said she liked to post about the case. Now, she said it was kind of some comedian making a joke about the baby oil, and she was adamant inside that courtroom today that she found it pretty funny, which is, I couldn't see Diddy's face whenever the baby oil or anything like that was mentioned, but he sat there kind of taking it all in from what I could see from him. He kind of had no reaction from what I saw, but she was pretty adamant that the post that she saw had to do with baby oil and had to do with Diddy, and she just liked it because, as she says, it was funny. And the judge said that she will proceed as a potential juror in this case.
First of all, that woman should have been disqualified. I would have disqualified that woman right then and there on the spot. You see, the judge is already making a bad mistake putting a woman like that on the stand. If I'm Diddy's people, I would want that woman. If I'm Diddy's people, I would want the woman that stole the doggone wand from Harry Potter, who says she has concert tickets going somewhere. Those two things would have got her disqualified if I'm the judge. If I'm the judge or if I'm the prosecutor, I don't want that woman nowhere near my courtroom. You know why? Because that woman is a fan. That woman knows all about this case. She's been liking, hearting things that she's been seeing on social media. She went to the concert. So that tells you what? She likes going out seeing performers. Most of the people like Diddy, people that's been signed to Bad Boy, she's been going to these concerts. He's an artist. She might be falling victim to the fandom. Cassie's an artist. She might have seen her show. So she's familiar with all this. I wouldn't know. Hell no. She'd been disqualified. Plus, if you was still a Harry Potter wand, if somebody came and gave you a suitcase full of money and said, hey, here's some money, she gonna go, oh, shoot, I take it. Hell, you was still a Harry Potter wand from the damn Orlando Studios tour. That's right. Hit the like button and donate to Cino's Cash App, which is Carcino. Make sure you donate to the Cash App, which is Carcino, 100%. It's called Drinking and Stress. Yeah, very painful. Now, she would have been eliminated. I'd have wiped her out completely. She does not help the case. She makes it a circus. And then she might be doing stuff in the trial to make it where she could talk about herself on social media. You don't want that. A bad look is a bad look. And at this point, that's the last thing you want is a bad look.
Talk to me about what they've seen about the case, whether that was documentaries, whether or not that was evidence that has been released so far in this case. What did we learn about what the jurors' exposure to the Sean Diddy Combs criminal case has been so far?
Yeah, it seemed like it really kind of varied. Some people have seen the documentary, that either being on HBO, The Fall of Diddy, or they've seen the one on Peacock as well too. Not very much mentioned about BBC or anything like that. But as far as just other mentions of what they have learned about the case probably beforehand was just water cooler talk, at the office. One woman said she actually works at HBO, and she was saying that, people have chatted about the case. Now, she says her job in particular didn't have anything to do with the documentary or anything like that. She was just pretty much a photo producer, so she had no kind of ties into the documentary or anything like that. But it seems like a lot of people were kind of familiar with the case, whether it be, you know, them seeing the CNN video, which obviously we'll see in trial, the raw version or whatever they were able to piece together, the government was, and showing that in real time, or real speed, I should say. Some people, again, were familiar with the documentary. Others were familiar just by his arrest. Now, whether or not they knew he had been detained this entire time, that part was a little bit unclear. But as far as the exposure to the case, a lot of people, and I say a lot of people, actually, it kind of just varied, really. Like some people were in the know about it, others weren't so much. But for the most part, there weren't too many who said that they couldn't be fair and impartial just because they, for example, saw the CNN video.
See, that's where I have a problem. If you watch the documentary, you automatically should be out. Nobody should be able to continue after that. Because how this man is going to get a fair trial from you and you didn't watch the whole documentary of people telling lies about him? He's suing them for the lies they didn't tell. And he should. You should get every dime. You make a slanderous piece before trial is even out to show you how thirsty these people are. The documentary. How do you got documentary? You don't have no facts. You're just doing everything circumstantial and sloppy and misleading the people. The fact that you are even allowed to do that. They put all these documentaries out when people got convicted. This is before there's even a court date. They haven't even stepped in court. And it's already a documentary out. How you gonna have a documentary before it's even a court date? Like just totally just diluting the whole jury pool for a fair trial. You got a bunch of people that don't like the man showing up. Yeah, I know Diddy. He owed me $12. I knew he wasn't no good. He knew I bought that sandwich, and he a multimillionaire. He ain't say, here, man, how much I owe you for the sandwich? Nah, he just ate the sandwich and act like nothing. That was 12. It was actually $12.73. Because it would have been $12.22, but you know, they add on for that little extra sauce that he liked. So, man, screw Diddy, man. He ain't no good. Oh, Gene Deal be on there. I don't know how Gene get these deals, but Gene be on them, boy. It be Gene Deal. Former bodyguard, Gene Deal. Yeah, I was guarding the door one time, and a certain artist, his brother or cousin, was like, I'm coming up in there. And I was like, no, that ain't happening, bro. Nobody getting in here. And now it was Puff and another artist who was big time at that time. And they had two girls in the room. And he said, don't let nobody come in here. So I was guarding the door. And his cousin coming in there saying, I'm getting in there. I said, bro, nobody getting up in there. Unless I don't work for your cousin. I work for Puff. Nobody getting up in there. And he was like, I'm getting up in there. It's like, don't try. So I flipped him into the piano. Then they come flying out the room, everybody naked. And he was like, what's going on? It's like he tried to come up in there. He tried to come in the room. And I told him, nobody getting up in there. Diddy was like, nah, he good. He can come in. Yeah, shout out to Big Gene. Absolutely. So a lot of these people came up there. Kirk Burrow should be ashamed of himself.
Out in an open.
Diddy is just like all these other guys in Hollywood. Really. Now you want to conform him to all the other nonsense that's going on. It ain't right. It's not right, B. I don't know. They probably already worked Meek out. Meek already probably got filled out. He belonged to a white guy now. Can you imagine Meek Mill in the trial as the star witness? They're going to be Robert Rameke Williams. Come up to the stand, please. Can you point to the man in question right there? Known in the world as Diddy? Do you see him in this courtroom today? Yeah, Your Honor, I see him. Well, yeah, he's standing over there, man. You see him right there. Man, they call him Puff. Man, I'm from Philly, man. I'm from Philly, man. We don't do none of that corny shit I'll be talking about. Man, so didn't you say Diddy touched you? What about here? It looked like he's touching you. Man, he just gave me a hug, man. Ain't nothing, man. Shoot. Man, people do that all the time, man. Did you ever go swimming? I was in the pool. Other people get in the pool. But it says that Diddy got naked in the pool. Man, that's what he did, man. I ain't get naked in no pool, man. You said somebody sucked you off in the pool. Who was it? Was it a female? Man, I don't know who it was, man. Everybody's in the pool, man. I don't know. May been Diddy, may not been Diddy. I don't know. But I ain't gay. Step down, Mr. Mills. Step down, Mr. Mills.
Diddy was just off.
Mm-mm. Free Puff Daddy. Well, What people are finding out is that when you start getting in this game and you start doing things that are no, well, the jurors in the case, though, seriously, let's get to it. Now, if you get to the original part of the case, what you're going to realize is that they're going to have some regrets in how they're going about doing things and proceeding in the future. So when you started, right. So when you start looking at the scenes, right? Everyone has a difference of opinions until it's not a time to have a difference in opinion. Mm-mm. That's because Diddy case, it moved on different tropes. No, it didn't go that way for a lot of different reasons. First of all, Laura London was named, Michael B. Jordan was named into the case. So everybody can, completely has this Diddy trial updates and all this stuff. But that's not going to be the case when it's all said and done. Mm-hmm. No, Sean Diddy Combs was never going to be that guy. You got to understand that. When you start taking different routes, uh, he knows why and what's going on and why he's connected to the situation he's connected in. Michael B. Jordan, they just name dropping people for salaciousness. I remember when Diddy tried to get him invited, he was invited to a party and they locked everybody out, but he was close friends to Diddy ever since Creed, and he was coming up after Creed and he was invited to come to the parties. And both of them dated Lori Harvey. Now this Lower London thing is coming up. So we're going to see. Yeah, they doing it for the salaciousness of the trial. Just name dropping people. It's nothing serious. They're not named in the lawsuit. So Michael B. Jordan's facing nothing. Nobody's saying, Michael B. Jordan was there pushing my head down. He's not involved. Mm-hmm. Well, you're delaying the inevitable. Mm-hmm. Well, Sean Puffy Combs got to make his own mind up. Oh no, they caught Serena Williams out here trying to escape the cops in Chicago. She trying to make a call. You better call Ghostbusters. Chicago don't play that. You going down, Serena. She's arrested. Man, a white guy. I don't care if he's a billionaire. Everybody liked you. Black folks supported you. And you see how you did us. You guilty, woman. Look, she got her money. Look, got all her money in her purse. You got all that money and thought you was special. They put the cuffs on her so quick, they forgot to take the purse off. They're like, how we gonna get the purse off? Now they going through her phone. I didn't know the cops can do that. Man, Serena. Damn, Serena, you done hit 3 cars. 3 cars, Serena? Damn. You done sideswiped about 4, 5 cars out here. Delaying the inevitable. Well, anyway. See, in the Diddy trial, because they got to try to dig this witness up, they've been allowed to show this video because they said, oh, well, we got it now. And it's going to show. They was like, sir, what's the relevance of this video? They sent you an edited version for a reason. In the full version that they have, that they're submitting in court, they got a film forensics expert can tell if a film has been edited or not. And sure enough, he said this film is edited. Because it was. Because it was. Now, what are the problems that have ensued? They got the state police. Serena, what are you doing, girl?
Don't make me blush. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and having him or her present, right? While you're being questioned. You cannot afford a high lawyer. You want to be appointed to represent you before the questioning if you wish. You understand those rights? All right. What's wrong with you? What happened? Why'd your back hurt?
I'm wild. I'm cool though. What's your name, Ebony? How old are you? You're 27? You look like you're 22. Yeah, you do look young. You don't drive like you're young though. You drive like a fucking race car driver.
You drive stress-free.
Yeah, that's not all over here.
Look at it.
Before, or is this just first time skill? Beginner's luck? Yeah, I got that impression. You remember us? We're the initial 2 officers who tried to pull you over. But you pulled out of Alta. All this for suspended license. You know what would have happened if you pulled over with your suspended license? Nothing. I would have given you a warning. So you're scared of me.
A warning? When? Oh, you got a suspended license. You get a warning? Since when? Man, these police, I'm telling you, he looking like, look, he's trying to smash. That's Chicago PD. He lying to her. He ain't gonna give her no goddamn warning. That dude trying to smash. He up there, man, you would just get a warning for a suspended license. No, you don't. Y'all ain't give me no goddamn warning. Your license suspended. Yep. Got to get out the car. Got anybody that can drive? If not, car's gonna get impounded. You taking a mug shot for a suspended license. You know, what do you bring him in for, driving on a suspended license? That's a mug shot. What are you talking about? It's a warning. Since when? Yeah, he trying to smash. That dude finna throw his whole job away. Hey, you look like you're 22. You 27. You look like you 22, baby. Yeah, you see that? It's crazy. Damn cop trying to smash on the job. Straight lying. There's so much going on. It's a lot to take in, so people just have to, take other people's word for it, I guess. Mm, I kind of know what you mean. No, it's a lot of people that have to make what you would call the adjustments. Well, see, they're getting because they all care about this racketeering. See, the racketeering is the whole case. Everybody else is focused on some drugs and all that. Man, that's easy to beat. This racketeering charge is what Diddy is faced with. That's going to be the real drawback, and they know it. So having witnesses and as many witnesses as you have, them being reliable is going to be the whole case. If you don't have a witness that's reliable, then what's the point? So witness number 2 said it and witness number 3, and they're entirely two different type of people. If your only witness is a sex workers get paid to have sex. So that means they could be bought. So it's like, okay, what promises did you give someone who does illegal work? That's like saying, we have a drug dealer here, sir. Hey, he's going to be the witness. So did you sell them drugs? Absolutely. That's what I do. I sell drugs. It's like, what? When does this happen? Throwing them up there on the stage so they can be bought. If they can be bought, then they can lie. Their credibility is altered. That's why you don't see a lot of prostitutes on the stand. Because that's why people go to them for work, because they're like, well, she ain't going to be in court testifying against me. Who's going to believe the word of a whore? No, this will not be shown live. It's a federal case, and the judge said no. Mm-mm. Oh, because Diddy is weird? So, because Diddy is weird, what we're supposed to do? Well, it's the new hot wave, and when you got the new hot wave going on, you want to make sure you're doing the right things. Um, mm-hmm. Well, when other people decide what's good and what isn't good anymore, or who is what they would say is, when they say who is essential, of course not. Mm-mm. Because see, Diddy never chose that. Diddy never had an option. You see, imagine you go out, you party every night with your friends, right? Then you get in an argument with your friends, and then the other people that you was partying with, they all abandon you. And that one friend you have is so powerful, right? Exactly. So this is about a powerful friend turning on his other friends. Now you got some Mississippi masala going on. Mm. Reality is never what people think it is. For people that grew up on like Scream, right? There's people that grew up on Scream. Like Scream was my movie, right? They grew up on the Scream saga. So when those people reach a certain age, Scream came out in like what, 96? So 96 Scream came out. Those people there are like in their 50s. You know what I'm saying? Or late 40s now. They've grown out of that. So they had to remake the series, right? And now they brought it out, and now it's got a whole new audience. Oh, Scream, it's got this girl in it, and I like this girl from Wednesday or whatever. Betrayal. There's so much that goes on that people just doesn't know. Mm. To go into certain events of the character, to go into such range of a story with people, and you look at Diddy's life, and you start saying, who would want to take him down? Imagine you were somebody who felt like you were wronged by Diddy. No one said Diddy was a nice person. Was he an a-hole? Absolutely. Who would want to see him fall? A lot of people. You look at Shannon Sharp. When Shannon Sharp got something going on, nobody cared about Shannon Sharp in any way, shape, or form. Cat Williams come out, boom, everybody care about Shannon Sharp now. And I mean in a negative way. People was positive. Oh man, Club Shay Shay, what's gonna be next? Then you look at Cat Williams, right? Cat was through the roof. Cat did a whole tour, made a whole lot of money doing that tour. But you know what else happened? People saying Cat ain't funny no more. Man, that special Cat did on Netflix one night. They don't talk about it no more. They didn't go back and watch it. You know why? Because they don't want to see Cat Williams do a special. They want to hear Cat Williams tell them some secrets about Hollywood and expose some people. Oh, here you go. Here we go. Like, that's all they came there to see. They didn't come there to hear jokes. They didn't come there to see a show. There was nothing wrong with Cat Williams' performance. But it wasn't what they came there for. They was there to see Cat Williams reveal the truth. You see? So that's why people are here. They want to see Diddy fall. They want to see the fall of Diddy. They here for the show. They don't care about the man's lives and kids or did he do it. Or is he actually innocent of the crime that they're committing or charging him for? These people know that they fabricating this shit. The prosecution is damn near basically bringing forth the case against him. Cassie, the person that never filed a criminal claim against the man whatsoever, it's all an illusion. Thanks, Brandon. Brandon gave me a cash app. Appreciate that, bro. Mm-hmm. When you put lies up on Sean Diddy Combs and try to tear him apart, and they saying, "Oh, we have this star former assistant, and this former assistant can attest to how creepy he is." I can get anybody who worked for anybody and have them say anything bad about him. You're not gonna like the guy that fired you. Mm-hmm. They want to see Diddy fall. That's the whole thing of it. They want to see Diddy fall. Oh, this guy named Philip Hines. He's got a civil lawsuit against Sean and Diddy Combs, Christina Coram, the Combs Enterprise, Daddy's House recordings. Claimed he was in
It's
traffic,
hard.
the whole nine. So why isn't he in the criminal case? Why this guy isn't in the criminal case? I don't approve of Diddy's activities. I don't know Diddy's activities. See, that's the thing where you're wrong. I don't approve his behavior. See, y'all are so out of the loop. It's about, is this man guilty of what they claiming he's guilty of? And I don't believe he is. This is the guy right here who's got the civil case against Diddy. This is the guy who claiming that he was trafficked and forced into sexual situations. That's the man that came forward with a civil claim, not a criminal one. So if that's the situation, if that's the reality that you want to bring forth, and this is why Diddy is suing. He's suing HBO for putting that out and distributing it. He was an executive assistant for Diddy in 2019. Now he's haunted after serving his former role model as he was forced to provide drugs and organize Wild King nights. If you ask me, that dude looks like DeBarge, and it looked like he was on drugs. Look like he's still on them now. So of course, I don't take him serious. Like I said, people could believe and buy into that if they want to. There's plenty of Diddy stories. There's Diddy stories I know that I just haven't told. Do you want to hear about it? I can tell you. But it will be on my Patreon. Not on YouTube. I will tell it on the Patreon. No, I don't agree with his lifestyle. That's another man's lifestyle. The dude at the bar, he's married to another guy. They got a wedding ring and all this stuff. I don't agree with their lifestyle. But that's their choice. Oh, we done told some Cassie stories on the Patreon. Oh, we let that one fly. Exposed everything about her. But we'll be putting that on the Patreon. As we talk about, we'll continue the story that we talked about on One Crack News. So the Patreon will be lit today. Very much so. I don't have time to be upset with that. That's just how it's moving. So, absolutely. So hit the like button up, subscribe to the page, all of those wonderful things. And I'm out.